Hey everyone, John Henry here, slingshotfutures.com. Today we're going to be talking about the emotional stake that you can get when you have a day with no trades. It's not something that happens very frequently, thankfully enough, but there will be those days where the morning session just doesn't set anything else up that really kind of fits the criteria. Maybe you try getting in a trade but it doesn't fill you, or you're looking at something but just the candles don't look quite right, nothing is really setting up the right way, and you just end up after the morning session flat. You're nothing in, nothing out. And that can take a little bit of a toll on you sometimes. When you feel like you've just been wasting your time, you're sitting there from 8 o'clock or whenever you get into the office until 11 and you don't have anything done, it kind of feels like, okay, well, why did I even wake up today? What was the point of even coming in? But you have to look at it at a different aspect. One of the biggest things that comes from a day with no trades is that, well, you were still making decisions throughout the day and you decided to not take specific setups, or maybe you didn't get filled at the price that you wanted. Regardless of what happened, you didn't get any trades for a reason. You could have easily just pulled the trigger and taken a shot at it, but you followed your plan, right? You stuck to your plan, you didn't take a bad trade, and you followed through with exactly what you should have done. And in effect, by doing so, you could have prevented multiple losses. So don't feel like you're doing nothing, right? It's not a day of doing nothing. You made a ton of decisions through the day, but you ran into a situation that nothing really lined up the way that it needed to fit your trading criteria. And, well, that leaves you with a day that nothing happened. That's not a bad thing. It's totally normal and totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, I want you to think about it in a little bit of a different light, because now you're in a situation where you did follow your plan. You did everything exactly the way that you should have done, and you just ended the day at zero. Nothing in, nothing out. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, what can cause problems is when you get that feeling like, oh man, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I haven't done anything. I need to get in this, and then you start forcing trades. You start making up things. You look at it and say, man, that's the one, well, kind of looks like crap. It's not that great of a setup. The candles aren't that good, but you know what? I think this is the one, right? You're not trading anymore. You're not following your plan. You're just throwing a trade on because you're bored or feel pressured into taking a trade and doing something that otherwise you probably wouldn't have taken. You got to be very, very careful with that mentality, because that's where a lot of people can get into some trouble, right? You take an otherwise trade that you would never take, but you took it because you didn't have any other trades that day, and then you start running into a situation of, okay, well, now that one turns into a loss, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. And actually, even worse than that, you take the trade and it actually becomes a winner, because now you're reinforcing bad habits. And when you reinforce those bad habits, it will always come full circle, and it will hurt later on. Might not have hurt today, but I promise you it will come back, and you probably don't want to be around when that happens, because it's not going to feel great. So really the moral of the story on a really slow day, whether it was today or any other day that you've had a situation where you just didn't get any trades, don't think like you've wasted your time or you've done nothing that day. You did exactly what you should have done. You followed your plan, you qualified the trades, and you didn't take any because they didn't fit what you needed them to do. It's a very important difference to make sure in your head you're differentiating like that, because if you're not, then you start doing bad habits, you start taking trades that you'd never take, you start reinforcing those bad habits, and then later on down the road you end up blowing your account because of those bad habits. So be very, very careful. And again, the moral of the story, you did something, right? You may not have had any trades, but you were still following your plan. So I just wanted to make sure to talk about that, because today was a little bit choppy, sloppy, slow. For me personally, I didn't have any trades today at all. No options, no futures, nothing. And days like that'll happen, right? Welcome to life. But the important thing is knowing in your head that you did the right thing by not taking any trades because it didn't qualify. And by doing so, I know just from the trades that we were looking at, by not taking trades, that saved me 2 or 3 losses, because we would have been just trying to force it. And you don't want that situation either. What's worse than having a trade of no days? Having a losing day, right? Nobody wants to deal with that. So hopefully it's something you can kind of add to your tool belt and really kind of reconsider the way that you might be thinking about a trade that you didn't have any, or a day that you didn't have any trades on, because, well, you still followed your plan. So that's going to do it for this one. As always, if you have any questions about it, feel free to send me an email, jbrink@slingshotfutures.com. Don't forget, throw a like on the video. Underneath the video, click on subscribe and the notification bell icon to the right of that, so you're notified every time one of these videos comes out. And as always, I hope you had a fantastic trading day today. I hope you had a phenomenal weekend, and we'll see you all back next time.